Hello, Kinsey teachers. This video is going to show you the difference in activities between the template that students will edit and the example or instructions, video instructions, different kinds of instructions you can provide to students, okay? So I'm looking at an activity here in my library. Here's where, now if I was going to edit this activity, there's a few different sections here. Here's the activity name, the student instructions. Then down here is what I'm really concerned with in this video, the example attached and the student template. Okay, the example attached in the student template. So when I go back to the activity, here's where all of these things show up in the actual activity. Here's my title and my directions. Here's the template that students will edit. And this is where that example shows up when we're looking at the activity. So, and it looks very similar, looks the same for students in their activity feed. So now the template is going to be more for what you want the students to actually do with this activity. The example is exactly that. It can be a picture, a video, a link. It could be anything that you want students to access that are going to help them complete this activity, whatever your activity is. So in this case, in this reteaching comparing numbers activity, here's my template. And my template is, and actually if I go to I'm going to go to edit so you can see this a little bit better. When I go to edit activity and scroll down and look at the template is a drawing with all these slides that the students are going to complete for this activity, right? And the directions, or the example in this case, is just like a picture of one of those slides that does have some of the links and different things like that. This is really just a screenshot of the picture though. So yeah, it's just important to distinguish between the two, right? So now you can do a lot of different things with this example. You can put in a picture, you can put in a video, you can put in a link to an outside resource like an A to Z book, or a website, or an Epic book, a Google Doc, lots of different things that you can attach as an example. But it's just important to know that the students will actually edit this template. So now if I do assign this to students, let's say I'm going to actually assign this activity to a student, and we'll just assign it to the sample student in our class. So when we go back now to the activity feed, this is what the student would see. They would see basically the title, the directions, and then the example, right? They're not even seeing that template yet. They're going to see the template when they hit add response. When they click add response, it's going to take them right to the template that they're going to actually edit. And they can still click up here and go to view instructions, and they can still see the example and whatever you attach or put in as an example. So they can still see that, but this is the template that they're going to see, and they're going to actually edit and submit to you. So one more time, here is from the student perspective, this is the example, and they're not going to see the template until they click add response. And from the teacher perspective, when we look at this activity, here's the example, here's my directions and my title, and then the template that the students will see when they hit add response, or whatever you want them to do is going to show up there. So important distinction. That was something that kind of confused me about Seesaw for a while, knowing if I should put something in the example or not. Now, it's also important to know if you don't put anything in the example, it's just going to take the first slide from, or whatever you put in your template is going to show up as the example for what students will see. And the example is also what you see when you search for activities in different activity libraries. So you'll see the example. So that is the gist of the difference between the example and video instructions versus the template that students will actually edit.